Peace, blessings, and abundance, my loves. It's been a little while since I recorded a video. I've been pretty much like honestly just working on me, and I say that to people all the time, but that's truly what I've been doing, just focusing on working on myself on, in the inside of me, my inner self, and building up my inner self so that, it makes my physical environment stronger and, just makes me more happy and, be able to experience more bliss in my life. So, I actually want to get into something that I've been studying. I recently got this book, right? It's called the Chakra Bible. And, it's really cool. Like, the book is really interesting because not only is it talking about chakras and your aura and your nadis or meridians, it's also talking about certain foods you can eat to balance your chakras. It's talking about ancient civilizations and it's talking about different type of religions like Hindu and Buddhism, and the different names that they call your chakras, your chi energy or your ki energy, prana, just different names based upon the civilization, so, or the people, because or cultures, whatever you want to call it. You know yeah, it's just a name that people, that humans come up with in order to identify things, because as humans, the human nature wants to identify everything. It is like not computable to the human brain not to be able to deal with something that they consider to be unknown. So yeah, but this Bible just talks about those. Bible talks about those things, the Chakra Bible, and it talks about emotional impacts that or symptoms that come from your imbalances in your chakras, mental imbalances and physical imbalances, just any and everything. So, and it also breaks down each chakra, and then it's color coded. Not sure if you can see that. It's color coded as well. So based upon your, root chakra, your red, yellow, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, and purple, So it's really cool, and I got it for a good price as well. So I also started reading this book here. And I posted this one on my Instagram page so people can see it. I actually am pretty much done with it. I am at the end of the book. Yesterday I started reading it, and I just kept reading it. So, or the day before, but I'm at the ingredients right here. See that right there. So that means I'm towards the end of the book. This is really interesting, and it's just telling you to focus on being in the now, which I know is very difficult. It can be very difficult in times to be in the now, and that's only because we've been indoctrinated and programmed to like truly try to plan out every single detail in our lives, plan out by the time right before you're about to graduate high school what you want to be for the rest of your life. Like, seriously, you haven't even discovered who you truly are, your likes and dislikes and things that make you happy, because you literally just went through the teenage awkward stage and you're really still a teenager. So, oh my goodness. But yeah, we just been programmed to do that. Then you have to get a job, and then you're supposed to start a family, and then you're supposed to raise a family, and yeah, so yeah. But anywho, so yeah, I want to get into today the aura, chakras and meridians, and talk about chakra imbalances and some symptoms that come from those chakra imbalances. I actually was inspired to do this video based upon reading the book, and then I also meditated this AM, and it just felt right. So I spent like an hour like putting together some things, typing up some things. So I'm really going to go off of my computer screen because that's where my Word document is. So I'm going to read off some things, and then, just chime in whenever my higher self feels that I need to add things, because I do my best not to edit or filter myself and allow myself to express myself. To stay on target, yes. However, if my higher self has something that needs to be shared, I definitely want to go ahead and share it, because I know it's for my the betterment of myself and also the betterment of others. So I have to follow that intuition and that voice, that wisdom. All right. So, what is an aura? What is a chakra? How do they work together? So the aura is in the chakra. The aura, think about it as raindrops of energy, and that energy is vibrating on different frequencies that produce colored light. So, depending on what color the light is on your aura, will each color will have a different frequency, basically. So that's why when you're doing meditation, you start googling like binaural beats and things like that. You'll see that they have different frequencies, different hertz according to the chakra, and that is definitely because each color has a frequency that it vibrates on. Okay, and your aura makes up those colors. So you'll have, just like you have your chakras that go from like the rainbow from red to purple, you have the same thing going on with your aura. And you also have like some pink tones, and the colors can change depending on the mood that you're going through. So you can have like a light gray, like if you're depressed, which is basically like a cloud over you. Okay, so it changes from a rainbow to a fucking cloud. Okay, so let me keep going. So the chakras are energy centers in our body that transmit information from the aura and represent a blueprint of our body. So we are energy before we are a physical being, and that energy is actually the blueprint for what this physical being is. All right. The chakras hold information of our past, pain, and trauma as imprints or stamps in the auric field. So when you have experienced any type of childhood trauma, if you were molested, if you were abused, like physically abused by a parental figure or a parent or whoever, you'll have which we all do. We all have imprints and stamps because we all went through some type of trauma, and not just this life but in past lives, and you carry that trauma with you. That's still a stamp, and that's part of the reason why you're here is to resolve those issues in order for you to move on to the next stage of your journey. It could be to come back in this bitch, however you would come back in it, being a more aware being like you would be able to choose parents on a certain frequency that are already enlightened, and that will help you grow in that learning and get there way faster than you did in this lifetime. Okay. So yeah, those are imprints or stamps on your aura, and you, like I said, you carry it with you through each lifetime. All right. These affect our emotional. So the chakras, they affect our emotional and our physical health through their connection to the endocrine glands or endocrine system that regulate human behavior. And for those who are not, who need a quick reminder of what your endocrine glands or endocrine system is, it is a chemical messenger system consisting of hormones. The glands carry these hormones directly into the circulatory system to be dispersed to target organs. And a lot of times you think about it because you think about your pituitary glands. We have our pineal gland, your pituitary glands. We have a thymus gland, that's right here, your throat chakra. We have our thymus, which is near our heart chakra. We have the I think it's called islets of Langerhorn, and that is right above our pancreas. And then we also have our adrenal glands, and we have our gonads. And the gonads are in your where the male and female sex organs are. All right. So also, which I pointed out when I was actually going through mines, your endocrine system is lined up with your 7 chakras. So that should tell you something about them, that they basically are tied together. They run parallel to your 7 chakras. All right. The energy exists before the physical body, like I said before, because before there is a body, there is a thought. Your energy is thought. All right. The human and information. All right. The human energy field takes on an egg-like shape around the body. So I put a note for you guys to think of it as your cosmic egg in the cosmic womb. All right. So your auric field, the energy is shaped like an egg. It's above your head, and it can stretch, I think, up to 30 meters or something, or even higher than that, higher than your body. Or is it 3 meters? I took a note, but right now I'm not recalling it. Give me a moment. However, it stretches higher than your height in this physical body. Think of it as a beacon or your satellite that connects you to the radio frequency of the cosmic mother of the universe. All right. Your chakras are indicators of your overall spiritual, physical, and emotional health, and the aura is basically projecting it. It's projecting your rainbow. So however you're feeling, your aura is showing it. And for those people who have the gift of being able to see your other people's auric fields and see their own auric field, they're very aware of really you can tell what's going on with somebody on an emotional and physical level based upon the auric field, because like I said, it could be grayish or basically looking kind of dull instead of vibrant like a rainbow. All right, so now we're going to talk about what is life force energy and what are meridians. So qi, which is from the Chinese language, and then we have ki from Japanese, or prana from India. It's also called your life or breath or your life force energy, and that flows through all living beings. It's your electromagnetic energy. And if you think of electro or electrons, you think of the feminine energy. If you think of that magnetic energy, you think of the masculine energy. And so that's basically your feminine and your masculine energy coming together, and it's flowing through your body. And this energy flows from the environment into the body. It is absorbed through your skin's pores, or what I also call portals, because your pores are portals into the inner being inside of you. So it's a way for all of the elements and things out of nature to get into your system. That's how people get sick. That's how people take on other people's energy. That's how we impact ourselves. That's how our environment impacts our being and the way we think and all those things, how we become a product of our environment as well. Not just the things that we see and hear, is also actually penetrating us through our pores or portals. All right. Now, this also which also connect to points in the meridians or the nadis. And meridians are lines of energy within the body. I put a note. Think of it as wires inside the hardware of a computer. So anything, like if you take a TV apart, if you take a computer apart, if you take any electronics apart, you'll see all these wires, right, that are connected to one central point, like a box or whatever. Think of your meridians as those wires. Okay, connecting to a particular chakra. Not saying it's not connected to all. However, there is a particular chakra that's more like your energy box or energy center. All right. Now, this energy connects, and it sends surges of energy to the appropriate parts or to the appropriate organs. Your meridian sends information or messages to specific body organs. All right. So that's why it's important, your thought process, because you are communicating through your meridians and telling your body what to do, how to feel. All right. So how do our chakras become underactive or overactive? And we're going to talk about signs of chakra imbalances and some physical symptoms that may come from that as well, or issues. So, chakras become underactive when they are not open enough to receive proper chi energy flow. This causes other chakras to overcompensate for this blocked energy and become overactive. So, let's just think about how we have all of our organs, and they all have a specific function that they're meant to do. You have your bowels that dispel waste. and you have your stomach, which breaks down your food, and you have certain parts of your body that sends out hormones in order for it to break down the food. And basically what your body is doing is a well-trained system to break down the food and turn that into energy. So let's say that you have, oh, and your heart as well, how your heart, is responsible for getting blood to flow, your circulatory system, and getting blood to flow to certain organs and certain parts of your body. Every organ plays its part. So we know that some people deal or go through, they may have a heart attack or a stroke. They suffer from heart disease, and they may have a blockage in their artery. So if they have a blockage in their artery, this one artery is not getting the blood to pump to the heart the way it's supposed to go, or flow to the heart the way it's supposed to go. And that may cause for another artery to have to overwork itself to try to compensate for the one that has a blockage. At some point, the one that doesn't have the blockage is going to swell up because it's taking on extra work that it wasn't meant to take on, right? And so that could cause for a person to have a heart attack, right? So think about your chakras, similar to that. So you have an underactive chakra, meaning it's not getting the energy that the meridians are sending to it in order for it to function properly and rotate properly in your body. Then it'll cause for another chakra to become overactive because it's now taking on the energy that cannot flow, right? It cannot flow down into that other chakra, all right? So now we're going to talk about each chakra. So I'm going to start with your root chakra, which this chakra is the foundation. It's the foundation of all chakras. It's the foundation of your house, your temple, okay? It connects us to our physical world as well as our physical body. So everything that is in our physical existence is our root chakra grounding us to it, all right? This chakra directs energy to all other chakras. This is also the chakra we use to dispel negative energy from other chakras in our auric field. This is also where we experience instinct for survival, security, and safety. And also, this is the chakra where we feel connected to the earth and everything in the earth, from the trees to the birds to the plants to other humans. This is the chakra where we feel that connection. This is the chakra that is building our family base and how we see family. And if we grew up in an environment where we didn't feel secure and protected, this is the chakra that will have issues from that, okay? All right, so now we're going to talk about what an underactive root chakra looks like. So if your root chakra is underactive, you may feel disconnected from the world and Mother Earth, including your own body. You may feel unhappy with your body size and shape. I went through that. Hated everything about the way I looked. Hated everything about my size. And always thought I was too skinny. Just always overanalyze my physical being. That is because I was dealing with an underactive root chakra. So you may also feel out of control of your life. So you feel like you don't have any control over it. It is what it is, and that can lead to some other things. You feel disorganized, which reflects in your physical world. So you may have a lot of clutter going on in your physical environment because you have a lot of clutter going on here. You lack focus and discipline, and that also can be lack of discipline with food. So you may just not be able to, or feel like you cannot control what you put in your mouth, right? You may be anxious or restless, lack of stamina. You may experience depression. You will probably have very little boundaries. Low sex drive may also arise. So you may have an issue with, if you're a male, basically getting hard, getting erect. If you're a female, you may just not even feel like you want to have sex. All right. You also may feel insecure, impatient, feelings of abandonment. Okay. Because remember, this is our security blanket. This is the chakra that makes us feel secure in our environment. Now we're going to talk about an overactive root chakra. When your root chakra is overactive, you may experience anger at the slightest things. You get easily annoyed. Actually, let me go back to anger at the slightest things. So that made me think about alcohol. So even though I fell into the underactive root chakra category at a point in time in my life. When I used to be drinking all the time, like basically a high functioning alcoholic, or habitual drinker, when I drank, the anger came out. That's when the monster came out, because that was underlying in that root chakra. So I didn't express it most of the time, but when I drank, the anger did come out. So when you drink or do certain vices, it could flop. It's not saying that you feel this certain way all the time. The majority of the time, though, it was more of an underactive type of behavior that I was displaying, though. All right. So, anywho's, like I said, anger at the slightest things. You get annoyed easily, and even aggressive towards people and events in your life. You are greedy and controlling of others, and become belligerent to those who challenge what you see as your authority. You might become dependent on the security from other people, your job, or specific habits. You may be very materialistic and think your value and self-worth exist in having these things. And you may have an overactive sex drive, or an overactive sex drive may arise. All right. So again, because this is rooted in the foundation and Mother Earth and the physical state of being, the overactive root chakra person who's dealing with that, will become very materialistic, and they will put value into things versus into people, or into humans, or into animals, or into the things that actually do help us survive. You actually wind up having it reversed. So you care more about the materialistic things than the actual natural things that keep this physical body viable. Now we're going to talk about the physical symptoms that could come from your root chakra being imbalanced. So you may experience constipation, kidney stones, circulatory issues in your legs and feet, which makes sense because your root chakra, being at the root, is where your legs and feet are planted firmly on the ground, and it keeps you balanced. All right. Hypertension, impotence, colitis, eating disorders, and prostate issues with men. All right. Now I'm going to jump into the sacral. So the root chakra is signified by the red color. Sacral is symbolized by the orange color, or the color orange. This chakra fuels our true wishes and desires. It allows us to see the physical world as an enchanting and significant place. This chakra, because I'm thinking of sacral. This chakra controls our self-value and how we relate with other people. Okay. This chakra is the one which actually deals with us wanting to be liked and loved by other people. All right. So if it is underactive, you may feel you have no joyful moments in your life. You may feel constantly repressed or harbor feelings of guilt or shame that lead to denying self of pleasurable things. A lack of creativity, tend to be sluggish and lazy, inability to enjoy sex, not always your true self. Now, let me say this too about the sacral chakra, because the sacral chakra is where the woman's womb is placed. So if you are pregnant and you are having imbalance in your root chakra, you need to think about it this way. All right. Your root chakra is the sea in which your baby is swimming in. All right. So all of the negative emotions that you're experiencing, your baby is also experiencing those emotions. It is a vibrational womb. It is your child soaking in those vibrations and swimming in that loathing, or that depression, or that pain, or that anger, or whatever you're dealing with. That baby is swimming in all those emotions. So I just want to put that out there to be mindful of that, because we all are a product of all of our environments. That starts from before you even materialize into physical form. Because remember, your auric field carries past life unresolved issues, and it's actually your emotional body, to be exact. But I'm not going to get into all of that today. But so starting from there, and then you are experiencing things now in your new mother, or the new vehicle that is carrying you, which is going to be your mother in this lifetime. And then when you come out, the environment that you grow up in, the environment that is training you up, training a child up in the way in which they should go. Hello, Bible. So or my people who grew up in Christianity. And then so you go from the environment in your house to the environment in your school, to the environment, and if you continue schooling, so on in college, the environment in your work. But the most impactful environments are always going to be at the beginning stages, because that's when a child is soaking in the most. That's when they're a sponge. So that baby is a sponge inside of you, soaking up all those emotions, and they come out of your body. So they come out of your body with those emotions that they soaked up, because that shit don't go nowhere. It's not dispelled just because you had that baby. It's still in the baby, you know? And then now they're growing up in this environment. And so now this environment is impacting who this being is, or who this being thinks that they are, I should say. All right, how they express themselves. Now, getting back into the underactive sacral chakra. So like I said, you may feel you have no joyful moments in your life. You constantly repress or harbor feelings of guilt or shame that lead to denying self of pleasurable things, like somebody who's been molested or raped, which is very understandable or overstandable for someone to feel that way. However, I'm telling you, this is why you feel that way, because you need to do some work on your sacral chakra. Okay, you may have a lack of creativity, tend to be sluggish and lazy, inability to enjoy sex, and not always your true self. All right. Now, overactive, you may be overly dramatic or highly emotional. So you may, if somebody calls you a drama queen or a drama king, that's probably because you have an overactive sacral chakra. Okay. You may have unhealthy mental, emotional, or physical attachment to others. Sexual problems, especially sexual addictions, originate from this area. You may experience tense muscles throughout your body, aches or pains in your lower stomach. And this is actually me getting into some of the physical symptoms, actually. So let me now say that I'm going to jump into the physical symptoms. So like I said, some physical symptoms may be experience tense muscles throughout your body, aches and pains in your lower stomach, bladder, kidney, and urinary problems, unusual menstrual cycles, infertility, ovarian cysts, endometriosis, prostrate or testicular disorder, ectopic pregnancies may occur. You may have an insatiable appetite, difficulty feeling satisfied, hip pain, lower back pain, lower abdominal pain, problems with your reproductive organs, urinary and kidney infections, and impotence. Okay, so now we're going to get into your solar plexus. I just noticed these are different fonts. So I was like, why does it look like that? Okay, it's cool though. It's cool. I'm gonna keep going. That would have been my overly perfectionist. I used to be this kind of like a perfectionist, and everything got to be the same, you know, like almost a little monkish. If you ever saw that show Monk, where he could just stand across the room and see that something is not like the same, like it might be that this is sticking out this much, so he got to line both of them up to be even, type of thing. I just have a little bit of that OCD going on. So yeah, that was a work, and it all comes from some imbalances going on there. So yeah, and it's also a control thing with me, because I realized I felt like underactive root chakra, if you feel like you don't have any control over your life, then you try to control the things that you think you can control. All right, solar plexus chakra. Now, this chakra is our energy center. Remember when I gave the analogy of think of your the meridian systems as the wires connecting inside your body like a computer. All right, and they're connected to an energy center. The solar plexus is that energy center. So it is the gathering point for lines of energy, your meridians, which control all bodily functions, as well as your physical nerves. All right. So if you think of nervous system, you think of nerves. You're like, somebody getting on my nerves, you know, or whatever. Or if you feel nervousness, solar plexus. Just think about your solar plexus. All right. It regulates self-confidence, having the nerve to do something, right? Not just talk about it, be about it. Self-discipline, willpower, and the ability to achieve goals. Every time I think about the solar plexus, I automatically think about a lion. I think about Leo. I think about that being where your self-confidence come from, that roar basically. And if you have an imbalance in it, the roar could be more of a meow. You see what I'm saying? Or, just that little soft, like, do you hear me type of thing, but you don't really want to be heard. You want to stay in the background. All right. Yeah. So now let's talk about underactive solar plexus chakra. So you tend to doubt yourself and have mistrust towards the people in your life. You may worry about what other people think about you. You may feel lonely or alone, have low self-esteem, because remember, this is the chakra that regulates your self-confidence. Always looking for confirmation and approval from others. Like, you basically can't do anything without calling somebody up and seeing how they feel about your life. Okay? You may feel powerless when you are under pressure and develop a queasy feeling in your stomach, which is nervousness. All right? Now, an overactive sacral chakra, you may become domineering and a control freak. You may be judgmental or critical of yourself and others, finding the others to be guilty for what you experience. You may be demanding, rigid, and stubborn, aggressive. You may be a workaholic, a perfectionist. You tend to never be happy about things the way they are. All right? Yeah. So, think of the controlling and domineering comes from the fact that you might feel like you don't have control over self, so you want to control everything on the outside because you feel like you have no control on the inside. And also, those are people who do not display their feelings as well. So also your emotions and what controls that emotional center a lot of times, where you hold your emotions, is in these lower chakras, mainly your sacral and your solar plexus chakras. So it's in your root chakra as well. However, that it makes sense that a lot of your emotions are in your nervous system, or your meridian system. So your solar plexus being that center for it all, a lot of your emotions flow through there, okay? So the physical symptoms you may experience are poor digestion, weight problems, ulcers, diabetes, hypoglycemia. Diabetes, going back to that one, I'm going to rewind. The reason why you would, if your sacral chakra is imbalanced, you would experience diabetes. Remember when I was talking about the islets of Langerhorn? They actually deal with your pancreas, right above your pancreas. And if you're not familiar with what your pancreas does, please research it. I don't want to really get into a lot of this stuff because I am going to do other videos about it and get more in detail with it, but definitely do research of it and you'll just see how that comes into place with your insulin production. And just know that anything they prescribe for you to take in, it means it's because it's something you already have inside of you that you're lacking, and they're trying to make up for what you're not producing or what is imbalanced. So they may prescribe steroids for you for if you are having kidney issues, and your solar plexus, if you have kidney issues, your solar plexus could be out of balance. If you have diabetes, your solar plexus is most likely out of balance, and so your insulin supply is not being replenished the way that it's supposed to be, and that comes from different factors in your environment, from the food that you eat, from the people that you're around, from the stress that you have at work. All of these things play a part in it, and also from repressed issues and things that you're holding on to in your root and your sacral chakra. Okay. Also, people could have liver issues. Anorexia and bulimia stem from your solar plexus having an imbalance. Hepatitis, colon issues, and intestinal diseases. Okay. Now we're going to go into the heart chakra. So your heart chakra, the heart is the gateway between the lower or physical nature chakras. So you can either call them the lower chakras or the physical nature chakras, and the higher or spiritual nature chakras. So the heart chakra, we all know that we have 7 chakras, 3 lower, 3 higher, and then you have the one in the middle, between your breastbone, which is your heart chakra. That's the gateway to your higher chakras. So you cannot get to your higher chakras if you do not pass through the gateway of your heart. Okay, unlock the key to your heart. All right. Okay, I know I'm corny sometimes, but it's fine. So basically meaning it connects the lower, like I said, the lower and the higher chakras, and it is our energy center from which love, joy, happiness, bliss, compassion spread. It is the source of that. It's the source of your bliss. And if you haven't heard of Dan Winter, I was turned on to him by Universal Frequencies. He has a channel as well. He actually inspired me to go ahead and start recording my channel, because when I had that fear of sharing myself on video or looking at myself on video, he definitely said some inspirational words that made me feel like, hell yeah, I need to go ahead and be myself and express myself, because it's not only to help y'all out there, it's to help me too. Because how can I grow if I am holding back my throat chakra? I'm choking myself, basically. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to choke my higher self and kill it, because that's like killing your soul when you're not truly expressing yourself. You know, so I don't want to get into all of that, because so much goes through my mind when I'm doing these videos. Like, it's so much more I could say or share. However, I do pull back a little. I'll just put it out there, because you can go ahead and research some of the things that I'm saying. However, at the same time, I just don't want to go completely to the left. I want to stay on course. So yeah, but Dan Winter talks about your heart harmonics, and I am still going to do a video on that. It's a 2-hour video, and I've already watched it one time, and I'm halfway through it because I was taking notes or whatever. But basically, just a little short explanation or synopsis of the video. The heart harmonics is what impacts our will, and it impacts our the manifestation of our reality, what we see every day. And when your heart is in a blissful state, like when you're happy and you're experiencing joy, your heart is basically creating a symphony. Like, it's the perfect flow of your DNA, and it's which is called basically braiding your DNA. So your heart, your emotions which is stimulating the pattern of your heart, or the vibrations or harmonics of your heart, which then is reflecting in your DNA, the way it braids itself. And it when it's experiencing bliss, it's braiding itself in this perfect pattern, which forms an X, like your XX chromosome. And when it's doing that, basically you are creating a healthier ecosystem for your inner self, and so many other things. But like I said, I'm gonna do a video on it, because I know that's kind of all over the place. I was just trying to bring myself back, because I literally was seeing the video in my head, like Dan talking. If you never watched Dan Winter, let me first say that I absolutely love like his excitement with when he talks about those types of things and DNA, and like you can tell he has a passion for it. So whatever you're passionate about, it will definitely make your heart harmonics, blissful. So do it. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I talked about your heart being the source of your love, joy, happiness, bliss, compassion, and all that. I'm going to jump in and say one other thing. Think about your chakras as vortexes. So we know that like the source of what's of all life is a vortex. It's a black hole. A black hole is a vortex full of all this potential, all this energy, which is where we came from before we were defined into these vehicles that we're expressing ourselves now on this planet, in this realm. So think about all your chakras as these rotating vortexes. And so when they're perfectly rotating right and they're open, they're able to flow and capture the energy that it's supposed to in order to flow properly into the appropriate organ so that you can be a healthy being inside and outside, a healthy ecosystem on the inside and the outside of you. All right. Now, an underactive heart chakra, you find it hard to connect with others and you have more of a loner lifestyle. You find it hard to forgive others. You are very negative, right? So you hold on to shit, okay? And think about it as being constipated. You're just holding on to shit and it's building up and you feel like your stomach starts cramping and hurting. You feel like you want to release it, but then you don't want to release it, okay? Because it may be painful to release it because you've been holding on to the shit for so long. However, once you let it go, you feel relief. Think about it that way. Let it go, guys. Let it go. Let it flow. Let that shit go and flush it. All right. You have an overactive. Oh, and the negativity. So you ever be around people, they negative all the fucking time. They all they do is complain. Like everything in life is so fucking bad. Like they don't see any, like, you know, I hate the word good, but they don't see any beauty. They don't see any beauty in anything. Not in themselves, not in others. They're just faking it to make it. And it's not to put anybody down because I've been there, like had that negative state. That's what got me in the place that I had my breakdown in order to have my breakthrough. So it's fine. However, identifying it, like the issue, that root cause, always get into the root cause of stuff. Why do you think they say get into the root cause? It's because it starts with your root chakra. So you're getting to the root of something. But you know, it's identifying, like I said, what the root cause of it is. And once you identify it, that's the first step to fixing something, to rectifying it or resolving it, okay? So it's okay to talk about these things. It's okay to look at yourself. It's not judging yourself. It's basically you diagnosing yourself. Okay, this is a way for you to diagnose yourself and then start working on fixing yourself so that you can be happy with yourself, with oneself, because nobody can make you happy in self. Only you can do it. All right. Know that from personal experience. So, an overactive heart chakra. You lack proper boundaries in friendships and intimate relationships. You tolerate too much from others to the point of neglecting emotional self-care. I can raise my hand. Giving to others or to a cause without restraints. So no matter how it impacts you, you just give to everybody. Saying yes to every damn thing and everyone. Even when it does not benefit you. Having a codependent mindset. All right. Some physical symptoms that arise from that are heart and circulatory problems like high blood pressure. Remember, I told you that your heart regulates your circulatory system, all right? That heart chakra in your heart. So it makes sense that you're going to have circulatory problems, have high blood pressure, heart palpitations. So you might have something, irregular heartbeats, heart attack and stroke, lung issues. All of that arrives from an imbalanced heart chakra. All right. Now I'm going to jump into your throat chakra. Jump into your throat. I'm not going to jump down your throat. We're going to jump onto the subject of the throat chakra. This is your first higher chakra. So this is us passing through the gateway of the heart. Now we're at our throat, which is where your thymus gland is. I mean, your sheesh, I want to say who knows why I want to say thymus, because your thymus is here, whatever. But your throat chakra is the voice of the body. All right. Yes, it is the voice of the body. It is home to self-expression and your ability to communicate. So think about people who are very good communicators. Like when they speak, you feel it. Some pastors and things like that, you know, they have a stronger throat chakra. Like their throat chakra is more balanced, basically, than someone who might have a difficulty speaking up. It governs our speech and creative expression in the world. Think of poetry, like a good poet. I love some good poetry. It makes me think of the movie Love Jones. So somebody who can express themselves through poetry, through song or whatever, think of the throat chakra. The energy of this chakra allows you to seek knowledge that is true and seek the truth. Speak your truth, express your authentic voice, and accept your originality. Isn't that wonderful? All right, so an underactive throat chakra, you are a people pleaser, unable to express yourself and often be misinterpreted or misunderstood by others. You might be considered flaky or unreliable by the people in your life. You have a difficulty. You have or find it difficult being honest with yourself. Get it together, throat chakra. Get it together. Let me hold one of my blue, because y'all just don't know I have. What did I do with my blue calcite? But that's fine. I'll just pick up the lapis. I'll just hold the lapis lazuli right now. Even though I did get a new one, blue aragonite. It's really pretty. It's a tumblestone. So I'll pick this up because sometimes when you find it difficult to communicate, I just sit this lapis lazuli right there for just a second to clear it out. All right, ready? Do over, right? Okay, so like I said, you may find it difficult being honest with yourself. Honesty is the best policy, especially with your damn self, all right? The reason why I'm getting to this is because I can raise my hand to this underactiveness in this one. You may give mixed messages, no voice or your own, of your own. And you may also, which this actually goes into a physical symptom, so I'll wait on that with the underactive. However, let me just point out that this is a physical symptom, but it is a physical symptom of an underactive throat chakra. You may stutter. So if you find yourself stuttering a lot, that means that your throat chakra is underactive. All right, so it's nothing to be ashamed of. It is nothing to feel like it makes you less intelligent. That has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the throat chakra needing to be balanced. Okay. Now, if it's overactive, you are your own and others' worst fucking critic. Okay. You do not think before you speak. You just say whatever the fuck you want to say, and you don't give a damn. You be like, Nene, I said what I said. And you be like, well, bitch, that was rude as fuck. And you know, okay. All right. You're very opinionated, okay, about every damn thing. You're overly critic. And I already said you're people's worst critic and your own, but I'm going to get back into that. You're overly critical of others and how they are performing in their life. Okay? You may be verbally abusive to those around you and may yell a lot when it's not even necessary. So, like, you could be come to that person and you want to have a conversation and say, hey, you made me feel this way. And they just jump down your throat. Like, they just loud, you know? You won't allow others to talk, what you call talk back or voice their opinions about certain situations. Even if you do, it will be your way or no way. So you don't see no way but your other. Even if you allow people to say what they want to say, you still don't give a damn. You'll let them say it. But you still gonna, do what the fuck you want to do. Or people still need to handle it the way you want them to handle it. That means you have an overactive throat chakra. All right? Now, some physical symptoms. Like I said, stuttering. You may have a throat lump, laryngitis, sore throat, tonsillitis, teeth problems, thrush, jaw problems like lockjaw or whatever, like tensing up. If you clench your teeth, stuff like that, it's because you're not expressing yourself. You're holding in things, and so you're clenching your teeth because, yeah, you're not expressing yourself. You may experience ear aches, ear problems, sinus infections, thyroid problems, arthritis in your shoulders, sore shoulders or arms. Your neck may feel sore, tension, because you're holding in things and it's just building up and building up. Okay? Stress may also exhibit an alcohol or drug dependency. Since you're not getting it out, you're taking things in. All right. Now, your brow third eye chakra. This chakra is the center of perception and command. It directs our sight and energy awareness of the world. It's the home to our consciousness. It allows us to see the inner and outer worlds. This chakra also allows us to experience clear thought as well as gifts of spiritual contemplation and self-reflection. We are able to access our inner guidance and cut through the illusion and access deeper truths to see beyond the mind, beyond the veil, beyond the illusion, beyond people's words. It is seeing everything from a point of witness or observer. I like to say this opens you up so you don't get so focused on the bullshit and the pretty things that people throw at you to distract you from what they actually mean by the words that they say. Because people may say a whole lot of pretty words, but that don't mean that they mean it. You see what I'm saying? Because this society has been conditioned to say what you think people want to hear, but not what you really mean. So that first eye, your third eye, right? Yes, so it actually allows you to see past the bullshit. And even if you see past the bullshit, you might not even tell people you see it, because sometimes it's not even worth it. You just let them be, let them go on about their business or whatever, and love them in spite of, because forgive them, Father, because they know not what they do. All right? All right. Underactive. You have difficulty understanding the spiritual side of the world and the connection between your inner and outer reality. All right. So you have a difficulty even seeing that there is a spiritual world outside of this physical world. You might say things like, people say that, there's a spirit world, there's this, there's that, but I ain't seen nobody but humans or whatever. Like, nobody from the dead has ever came back and told me nothing. Well, that's because you're blind. You're blind. All right. Now, you may lack empathy for the people in your life. Lack common sense or intuition. Memory and learning can be affected as well. Lack the ability to visualize. So, like, how children have that imagination and it just, can visualize all kind of beauty and all kind of things. Children can create. I remember I used to create like a little pie and stuff out of acorns. I would smush them from the trees, the little acorn nuts, and I would smush them from the trees and call myself baking a cake or whatever. Children can take really anything, and their imagination, the fact that how they can visualize anything and make it something totally different than what its purpose is intended for. That is what a person with an underactive third eye or brow chakra is unable to do. Overactive. You may feel, I hear you, Piccolo. Piccolo is really greedy right now. He wants to eat. This cat, he done ate like 3 cans of food, so this will be the 4th can. And even though he's sharing with his brother, he's eating the majority of it. So he literally is going to meow in the back while I'm doing this video. I'm almost done, so I will feed you shortly, Piccolo. All right, so let me get back to overactive. You may become delusional and create circumstances in your mind that are not really happening. That's what they call mental disease. You may tend to be judgmental, unsympathetic, or over-intellectual in your thinking. All right? Physical symptoms: frequent headaches in forehead or temples, migraines, brain cysts, tumors, strokes, blindness, deafness, seizures, insomnia, learning disabilities, spinal dysfunction, panic or panic attacks, depression, addiction, dizziness, nausea, sinus problems, ear aches, hormonal imbalance, and equilibrium dysfunction, as well as vertigo. That's a lot, huh? Now let's get into our crown chakra. This is our last major chakra. Yeah, all right. So it is the gateway that connects us both to the physical and non-physical realm. It's something flying, goodness. Non-physical realm of our existence. And it is here that we find our own divinity and become an enlightened one. All right. From this chakra, we realize that we are truly connected to all there is, and basically that there is no such thing as separation. And in knowing comes great compassion for all life, eternal bliss, and infinite wisdom. That's why a lot of people, when your crown chakra is balanced, you may stop eating meat, because it's not on that like PETA type of kick. It's more on the fact that you get truly the connection in all of everything. And so eating an animal is not necessarily that appetizing to you anymore. You know, it's not to knock anybody who still does. You just don't, most of the time, even want to partake in that part anymore. You know, because you even start to feel a difference when you eat it. Like, you notice your body acts, functions differently. The way you think is differently sometimes as well. All right. It allows us to experience mystical oneness with everyone and everything in nature. We become aware that our life is but an extension of our own consciousness, that we are the dreamer dreaming the dream. All right. We gain understanding and overstanding that all manifestations, whether we consider them good or bad, are a result of our thought patterns that become subconscious beliefs. And in knowing this, we can begin to change the dream. So if it's underactive, you will probably feel like you lack a purpose in life. You may think that it is all meaningless, which leads to mental disease. You may feel unloved or angry at God. You may blame life circumstance on something that is outside of you. You may have difficulty with coordination, also have difficulty with new ideas or a positive outlook on life. Lack spiritual exploration and have no desire to discover your inner self. May also be afraid of dying. Experience an inability to connect with others. So knowing that your crown chakra is the gateway to the ether, it's the gateway to your divinity, it is the gateway to all wisdom, it does make sense that you would have no desire to discover your inner self, because you are literally, when it's underactive, it's basically partially open. It's not, your chakra is not fully open. It's not fully activated, you know, so makes sense. Now, if it's overactive, you will probably not be able to control your encounters with other realms of existence. You may be considered far out and will have trouble grounding yourself, making it hard for people to take you seriously. You may possess a God complex and consider yourself better than others. That's what a God complex is, because you see yourself above everybody else instead of you knowing that we're all in the oneness of the collective consciousness. We're all one. You may attain some knowledge or master one subject, but not be as open to learning other things. The book, The Chakra Bible, said it's like eating all the fruits of spiritual attainment before learning to plant, water, and grow them on your own. So you done ate up all the damn fruit, but you don't know how to grow anything else. All right. Now, the physical symptoms. Muscular disease, chronic exhaustion that has no medical explanation, sensitivity to light, certain sounds or environment commonly found in autism, neurological disorders, nerve pain, thyroid and pineal gland disorders, Alzheimer's, recurring headaches, migraines, schizophrenia and delusional disorders, insomnia, and some depression. Now we're going to talk about balancing your chakras. So since the heart chakra is the gateway, it is best to determine which lower chakras are blocked first and open them up and balance them in order to balance the heart chakra. And once the heart chakra is balanced, then you can go up Jacob's ladder. Okay, so you start with the root, then your sacral, root, sacral, solar. Then you get to the gateway, balance that. Then you can go up to your throat, balance that. Then your pineal, then your crown. All right. Now, Also, another note I put is aligning your chakras. So, you know, they're, because we know basically they go up from your spine actually. So they are supposed to be perfectly lined up, right? Like through the, like cutting through the center of your body. You also want to work on aligning your chakras as well. That's an important part of balancing. How do you do so? You can utilize meditation, which is number one thing I think personally. You can also utilize crystals, which, you know, I love those too, and sound binaural beats, I love that as well. Music, I love me some music. However, we know that most music is on a lower frequency, 440 hertz, so you can utilize certain artists. You can listen to certain artists like Michael Jackson, Little Bob Marley, things like that. People who actually recorded their music on 432 hertz. All right. Dancing is therapy. When I was younger, me and my two younger sisters, we used to dance all the fucking time. We would come up with dance routines and shit. We did a dance routine in middle school to a song that was kind of inappropriate for middle school, but my parents recorded it and they let us do it, and they were very strict. So hey, that was our outlet because we couldn't do nothing else, right? So yeah, dancing actually it can help shake open your chakras, because basically it's you're getting your meridians, clearing blockages in your meridians. All right, shaking it loose, it's shaking them loose. All right. You can do color therapy, aromatherapy, and also the foods you eat can balance your chakras. Think about natural foods like fruits, how they all come in different colors. So think about, if you eat an orange, then you're balancing your sacral chakra. A lemon, your solar plexus. Red apple, your root chakra, or beets, your root chakra. Anything green, your heart chakra. So any of your veggies and things like that. And so on and so forth. Just think about it that way when it comes to food. And it's, like I said, it's live food from the sun, because that's alkaline foods. Most people eat so many acidic foods, and that's really how the chart goes. Is alkaline or acidic. Meats are going to be acidic. Fruits and vegetables are going to be of an alkaline. When you add additives like salt, sugar, acidic. Okay? I hear you, Piccolo. I hear you, boo. Now, crystals for balancing your chakras. He has a little attitude. He'll be all right, though. He'll be okay. All right, so we're going to start with your root chakra. Like I said, red. Now, when it's underactive, you want to utilize red. Crystals or stones. You can utilize carnelian. I have a tumbled one. You can utilize carnelian. You can also use this for your sacral, too. Red jasper, bloodstone, smoky quartz, which is not a red one. How a smoky quartz is good for that. If it's overactive, you want to you can utilize hematite, black tourmaline, black obsidian. Notice that blacks and whites, you can also utilize some quartz, like clear quartz. Black and white stones and clear stones, those are, think of them as neutral stones, so they can work for all around. However, your black ones are normally to ground you. All right, but the white stones and clear stones, they can work for overall everything. However, so can the black ones, because they actually can bring and your energy down from your higher chakras, bring it down to your root chakra, which is where you dispel that negative energy and you ground it. You put it in the ground. All right. That's why it's good to tread idle or ground yourself, or what you can call grounding yourself in the earth. And I did a video about that, the importance of that, because it also helps you take in the earth's negative ions, and negative ions are the shit for you. Okay. What else? Or you can use a crystal that is a complementary color. If you recall in school when we learned about complementary colors, it was basically the color spectrum on a wheel. And so it's the color that's right across from red, which I think is green. So you can utilize some green stones like emeralds. And I have an emerald stone somewhere. I have the rough one, and then I have the tumbled stone. So you can utilize the complementary stone for an overactive chakra. Okay, overactive, you can use a complementary color to the color of that chakra. If it's underactive, you use the color of that chakra. All right. Underactive sacral, you can use fire opal, carnelian, yellow topaz, orange calcite, and mookaite. Mookaite is one of the ones I haven't had that long. It's really pretty though. I really like it, and I'm excited to start working with it. Again, I am going to do a video talking about stones, so I won't really get into all the benefits of them. You can also utilize this yellow jasper as well. All right. Which you can also utilize for your solar plexus. Now, overactive sacral chakra, the color across from the orange is the blue. So that will be any of the blue stones, blue calcite. You can utilize blue aragonite, blue kyanite, whatever blue stones that you have on you. However, based upon what that stone does as well, you want to make sure that it's helping you work on things that you are working on transmuting, energy you're working on transmuting. Your solar plexus, you can utilize for underactive solar plexus, yellow tourmaline, yellow topaz, yellow jasper, and mookaite. If it's overactive, the opposite or complementary color is purple stone, so you can utilize amethyst, ametrine, fluorite, purple agate, purple sapphire. And underactive heart chakra, rose quartz, which I love. I've always had a rose quartz. I had a really big one when I first went to Jamaica. I lost it because I was boohoo crying. I have to tell y'all that story one day. I was boohoo crying when I got off the plane because they took my plant and I was connected to this plant and it was life for me. Yeah, I was crying over a plant, y'all. I was emotional. Now I can laugh at myself. But I had a really big rose quartz and I left it in the man's van. But think about it, a lot of times when you lose stones in certain places, whatever, it's meant to move on and go to somebody else. So, you know, hopefully I trust that it's in where it's supposed to be. Okay, because they know that your stones are intelligent. Okay. Serpentine, I have that. I have some of the other ones too that I call that. I just didn't pick them up, but that's my serpentine. I'm coming piccolo, rose topaz, peridot, rhodonite as well. If it's an overactive heart chakra, the opposite to the green again is the red. So you can do bloodstone, you can do red jasper, you can do carnelian, you can do ruby, you can do different ones. Underactive throat chakra, blue calcite, blue aragonite, blue topaz. Your throat chakra is a lighter blue, so you can utilize the lighter blues. You can utilize a dark one too, like lapis if you want to, the lapis lazuli. Overactive throat chakra, orange or yellow stones. So you can do yellow topaz, clear quartz, even though that's not an orange or yellow. Like I said, the clear is neutral. So orange calcite as well. If you have an underactive, hush, piccolo, I'm coming. If you have an underactive third eye chakra, lapis lazuli, blue sapphire, and satellite. I actually do have a piece of satellite somewhere over here. Watch out, piccolo. I think yep, it was right at piccolo. So that is this here, and if you notice, the lapis looks similar to it, except for the lapis has pyrite in it. That's why it has which is fool's gold. That's why it has the gold flecks in it. So it's mixed with the satellite and the pyrite. All right, that's what makes it different. And if you have an overactive third eye chakra, he just sit right on the stones. You want to get some orange stones again. Blue is opposite orange, so you can utilize orange calcite, which I actually have as well. Carnelian, but you can also utilize emerald. Emerald is a really good stone that you might want to take a look at. But like I said, I'll get into the benefits of some of these stones, right? In another video. If you have an underactive crown chakra, piccolo, you can utilize amethyst, because we know that's the color purple, sapphire as well, and celestite. Overactive crown chakra, you can utilize the yellow stones, opposite purple, yellow. You think about the Lakers. Yeah. Actually, when you think about some of these, actually, I was thinking about some of the sports teams with these colors, to be honest. But anywho's, Yellowstone, so you can utilize yellow topaz, yellow jasper, or mookaite, and other ones. There are plenty other stones. I just jotted down some as I was typing all of this up. And even though I didn't get into the practices of all these things. Oh, one thing I also left out of balancing your chakras, you can also utilize techniques like yoga and Reiki and acupuncture and things like that as well. Yoga is really good. There are certain positions and poses. In this book, the Chakra Bible, it actually gives you some yoga poses for each chakra. That's what I do like about it, because it tells you certain positions that you can do that'll bring that chakra into balance, and so you can clear that energy and get it flowing properly. Because remember, it's all about getting that energy to flow properly. However, even though you are working on it, doing it through these ways, you also still need to work on any repressed issues. I did some videos talking about how we hold on to certain things that we've experienced in our childhood. And by holding on to those things, it causes for us to have an imbalance in that chakra, and it causes for us to go through stress and depression and things like that. So you also want to deal with whatever issues are holding you back and let those things go, because the saying goes that you forgive others not for themselves but for yourself, and it's very, very true. Because when you become an adult, you realize that everything you went through as a child, or in the child body before this body, matured, really, technically, you didn't have any control over. You did sign your soul contract. You did make the agreement to come into this form. However, you have other people that are taking care of you and telling you what to do and all of that. What your job is to do is to recall and remember what you truly are and who you truly are. That you are never, or you were never that person that you were named. It's just in this lifetime who you are in this human form. However, you are much more than that, because you are a light being. You know what I'm saying? You are truly not of this earth or this planet, and this is a school or an experience that you're going through. Earth is a school, and basically the chakras, that's something especially your heart chakra, that's something that you're going to carry with you when you're no longer in this life. So in order to keep yourself from repeating the same cycles in the school of life, or the earth school, Earth University, you are supposed to be working to find closure and resolve all of those things that you've been carrying from one life to the next life. All right. So, excuse me. I say all that to say that is why I do certain videos. That is why I make sure that I express these things. This video is quite long, but it's okay, because it needed to be. But that's why I do certain videos, is to make sure that people get some type of tools to aid you in dealing with things that you may not want to deal with. But if you do not deal with them, then who is going to? No one can, pull those feelings out of you and, and throw them away and trash them. No one can do that but you. Okay, so let's just keep on working on ourselves. Like I said, it's nothing to beat yourself. None of this is anything to beat yourself up about. If you fall in any of these categories right now, if you feel like any of the things I said actually relates to you, or you can see it in a loved one, it's not for you to judge them. It's not for you to judge yourself. It's for you to work on yourself only, because that's the only person you can control is yourself. You can't control nobody else. And the sooner you get that, then the happier you'll be. You won't allow all the things going on out in this world to impact or make you feel like you are less than anything, because you know that you're not less than, that you're actually greater than you actually thought you were. And by greater, I mean that you are more than this physical vehicle, right? And that you are an infinite being. That's what I mean. So, this is all just so you can begin to love yourself. And most people think of love in the emotional love, sense of love, and those types of feelings. And there's nothing wrong with that, because women, we express a lot of emotional intelligence in just the way that we are. Like, think about your mother. the difference between a mother and a father, a mother is that nurturing, forgiving. You do all kind of shit to your mother. I remember some conversations I had with my mother, but my mother loved me regardless of. My mother was the one, if I moved somewhere, because I decided to move 45 minutes away from where they lived, she was like, I'm coming to see where you live because I have to know where my baby lives. That was my mama. You know what I'm saying? She didn't care like what arguments we had, or what distance we had. She always made sure that she connected with me at some point, because I'm, was her baby, and all of us are her baby. She carried us for 9 months, and we rode with her in her body. I was there with her, connected to her, and feeling all of her emotions, like I said, in her womb, where her sacral chakra is. So feeling all of her emotions and becoming, feeling that oneness. I think that is in a physical form. That is the closest to feeling the oneness of the consciousness when you're inside of your mother. Okay? Until you start working on getting back to that point through like the path that I'm going on right now. So, yeah, so kind of went to the left with that or whatever. And I'm not quite sure where I was going with that at this point, because I actually just started thinking about my mother and start feeling, emotions. So yeah, you do carry those things with you, but it doesn't have to be a bad quote unquote bad thing. None of this is really a bad thing. It is just to help us resolve, like I said, the things that we had left lingering, and also to know who we are, and to help others along the way, so we can start serving and walking in our purpose and truly being living a blissful life at this point. So as always, guys, I want to give thanks for you watching my channel. Namaste. I send love, my heartbeat, to all of y'all out in the ether, and check out my other videos. Like I said, I just express myself to help myself grow, and also to grow and glow, and to help you guys also grow and glow. We can grow and glow together. So peace, my loves. I love you guys so much. Later.